Hello, beautiful you. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. If we are just meeting for the first time, hello, my name is Taylor. I am an herbalist who specializes in mental and emotional health. I also am an intuitive and do intuitive readings as well, connecting to earth and plant spirits. And today we are talking about a topic that's really important and often overlooked when we talk about herbs and natural medicine is you really got to know what you're doing, which is why it's so important to work with an herbalist or different practitioners when you do decide to use herbs medicinally. So this is something that I want to talk to you about. It's not to shame you. It's not to scare you. It is to spread light on something that's actually really important. I've got a few different case studies that I want to just talk about to help paint this picture about what the heck am I talking about? Why do you need to work with an herbalist? So, there's so many things that we can say. I'm like, which part do I start with? A lot of times I think in general, when we are looking for a natural solution to a problem that we're having, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, we usually do the Googles and we say herbs for headaches, herbs for hormones, herbs for libido, herbs for depression, right? Something like that, or natural solutions for all of these things. And we go to the Googles. I do it too, and I'm an herbalist. And this is great for a starting point. But I want to tell you why it's really important that if you are working with herbs medicinally, you should really be working with an herbalist, because it is not just as simple as problem, solution, or symptom, herb. We hear this a lot. This is a very allopathic way of practicing medicine, aka Western medicine. Because allopathic medicine, Western medicine, has kind of created this culture of treating symptoms and not root causes. This is where this trend, it's not even a trend, this is where this practice comes from of, I have a headache, give me a pill, right? So then we just naturally think, I have a headache, give me an herb. It's not that simple when it comes to herbalism, when it comes to natural health. There are so many things that I can talk about in this, but in essence, there are so many different reasons why you will be experiencing this symptom. And in herbal practices, for the most part, I will say, I'll speak for myself. As an herbalist for myself, I look at the holistic picture. We are not just looking at the symptom. Actually, we are looking at the symptom and saying, what the hell is that coming from? Why are you having that symptom? So what you want to do is start to treat the root cause and not the symptom of what's happening, because you're just band-aiding the symptom instead of fixing the root cause. I think we all kind of know this in one way, shape, or form. But when we don't, and this is like, I don't know, I want to also empower people to use natural health for themselves, but it is really important just because I've seen so many ways where we can exacerbate, you got that? Oh my gosh, I can't say it. Exacerbate. That's not how you say it. We can make a problem much worse by not knowing which herbs to take, what type to take, when to take it, how long to take it, all of these things, right? This is something that I'm really, really passionate about bringing education to. I want to give you one case example right now. So I am working with this incredible woman. She came to me for perimenopausal hormonal issues. It's one of my specialties, specializing in mental and emotional health, right? We're not sleeping well, we have brain fog, we have achy muscles, we have mood swings, we have, what else are we talking about? Insomnia, we already talked about that. Fatigue, can't really recall things like some of the traditional, I guess you could say, perimenopause, hormonal, imbalanced symptoms. So we're working on this. Well, every time that I work on a consultation with someone, I always say, what herbs are you taking? What medication are you on? These are very important things, as well as what's going on with your body? I need to know what's going on. And so without going into all of the details, actually, maybe I will go into some of the details here. But essentially, she has been working to try and figure this out with different types of practitioners in the past. I'm not quite sure, we haven't met yet face to face, but just looking at the form, she has started taking some herbs. And she also has some existing conditions, IBS, leaky gut, some gut stuff going on, and also hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, right? And so these are really important considerations when we're looking at herbs, because here's the big thing, you guys. Herbs and supplements are natural, but that does not mean that they're just like okay to take all of the time. In general, I would say I definitely practice with the more gentle herbs that are generally safe for most people. But some of these herbs that you will find online, especially when you get into the Chinese herbs, these are big hitters. And you really need to know what you're working with, because they can really make a small problem a lot bigger problem, especially when you're just kind of dosing at whatever, cadence you think. You're not really considering, you just don't know the whole big picture, which is why you have herbalists who work with herbs, because it's a very complex thing for a natural solution, is what I'm trying to say. So I just want to give you an idea of what was happening here. And this is not to shame this person at all. This is actually such a beautiful example of how working with an herbalist can be really, really important when you're looking at issues, okay? So she was working with certain herbs already. And remember, she said she has these hormone issues. She already has really bad IBS, gastrointestinal issues, as well as this hypoglycemia, which is the low blood sugar. So when I started researching the herbs that she's on already, they are big hitters. And that's usually what you find when you look at some of these bigger issues, some of these herbs, is they want you to be on like the strongest herbs, but the strongest herbs usually have the highest contraindications, meaning side effects. Yeah, I'll just say that. So I haven't talked to her yet to figure out, but she has essentially been taking these herbs that are supposed to be helping her hormones, but potentially doing much more harm. Again, not to scare, it's hard. I want to dance around it, but just paint a picture of what can be happening. Is these herbs are highly irritating to the gastrointestinal tract, as well as, it's like a double whammy. They also, these herbs that she was taking, lower your blood sugar. And then one of them has the potential to decrease your potassium levels over time, which in turn leads to fatigue. So, and other things. But I am saying all of this because we have the best of intentions when we say, oh, herb, I want to try this. But we don't have the big picture on how this is going to impact my body and all of the systems that are working together. This is what herbalists do. This is what I do, is look at the big picture and try to put the pieces together in the most gentle and effective way possible, so that your body is healing and not just getting bombarded with something over and over and over and trying to stress it in to recorrecting, right? So I wanted to say that. There was also something, I'm looking at my notes here, that I wanted to say. I think I actually might have covered it all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is I wanted to give you another case study. My mom, case in point, she is a beautiful woman. She's the person who has taught me from a very young age. I feel so fortunate to use natural medicine, to work with the earth, to do as chemical free as possible, all of that stuff. I highly accredit her raising me that way to the work that I do now. That being said, I don't know the whole background, but was taking a natural herb supplement for her thyroid. She knew she has thyroid issues. I don't know exactly, so I don't want to put words, but essentially put herself on these supplements for thyroid. Well, however long she was taking these, you guys, also that's another thing, is herbs just, you shouldn't be taking herbs forever. Like that's never the thing. That's why working with an herbalist, again, can tell you how long you should be on something, when you need to come off, how you need to come off, all of that stuff, when you need to dose, how you need to dose, all of these things are really important, right? So she's taking these supplements. I don't know the dose, I don't know how long, but it's a long period of time. Well, over time, this gets her into a really, really, really big imbalance, which ends up eventually sending her to the emergency room with blood pressure, you guys, at a very, very, very high level. Like, I mean, ERs was like, get your blood pressure down immediately. This is extremely, extremely high. And it took months to kind of recalibrate off of that medication. So I really want to emphasize, this is not to scare you all, but this is a really big, loving reminder that working with herbs is so amazing and incredible, and it is mostly natural, but that doesn't mean that they don't have side effects. They don't have implications to your system. If your system is out of balance, it can exacerbate. There it is again. I just had to throw it in there for you again. It can make things worse instead of balancing it out. So that is why I highly recommend, obviously I'm biased as an herbalist, but working with an herbalist who knows how to work with these things and can think about these different things. Additionally, one last thing is to share all of your history. What's happening, even if you're like, I don't even think this thing would have to do with anything, share it. Because all of these things are interconnected. You are not working, your systems are not working in singularity anywhere. So, if you are curious and you have something mentally, emotionally that you would like to work on, I would be honored to do a consultation with you and look at what a path forward can be. I am highly, highly, highly a believer in working with herbs for your mental vitality, your emotional vitality, feeling extremely resilient and amazing in the world. And if you don't feel like that, I know that herbs can get you there, but you need to work with an herbalist to help get you there, right? To teach you these things and help to show you the way there. So I have the link in the comments, in the description here. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know if you have a story to share about this. Let me know if you feel like you've underdosed or overdosed or all the things on herbs in the past, or if you've heard of this. Again, not to scare. In general, herbs are very safe, but what we want to look out for is being on an unknown dose for a long period of time. That's when we get into some trouble, into some imbalancing that we can offset here. So, sending you so much, plenty love. Talk to you soon. Bye.